Hey guys, this video is an unboxing of the regular Crazy Frog plush and the Crazy Frog DJ plush. Both of these items, I ordered both of these off of eBay, secondhand. The regular Crazy Frog plush came from America and the DJ Crazy Frog plush came from Greece. And I live in Canada, so they took like a month to arrive. But regardless, they're here and I'm definitely impressed with the sellers. They shipped them the next day. To my understanding, these items are discontinued. And, you know, they're quite old. You know, I had a Crazy Frog plush a long time ago when I was little, and I lost it. But regardless, I'm really glad that I'm going to be able to re-experience the nostalgia here. I know what this one looks like exactly. So for the regular Crazy Frog plush, it actually looks better than a lot of people's Crazy Frog plushes. There are some, you know, good looking ones out there, and there's videos with millions of views of those, but there's also a lot of kind of, you know, Crazy Frog plushes that, you know, the one I'm going to open looks a lot better than a lot of them, to be honest. I probably have the best, like, what I'm going to open here is probably the best looking Crazy Frog plush you can really get, which probably makes it a collector's item. And these are both collector's items. And without further ado, let's get to opening them. So I'm going to open it with scissors. You can see here, and it came in a Walmart box. Don't know why, I guess because it's secondhand and that's just the box they put it in. Alright, so I moved the camera a little bit further. Alright guys, I'm going to open it now. And here we go. I can already see. It is in bubble wrap. Let's take that off. I love bubble wrap. So here it is. Here's the regular Crazy Frog plush. And I'm going to adjust the goggles here. Here we go. There it is. Bing bing. This is very nostalgic to me. And I'm sure lots of people can relate to that. But yeah. Ding ding. And I'm going to show a picture of the eBay listing. And then I'm going to show a picture of what it looked like when I opened it. So here it is. The one I had would make a noise when you touched its belly, so let's see if it does that. So there's your answer. It does the noise. And it's from the original Annoying Thing clip. And so that's the sound from the original Annoying Thing clip. So that was like when Crazy Frog's first video, pretty much, before it became like an official thing.
Ding 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 dum dum bum bam 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 bum 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 bam 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 rim run run ram ba 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 ba.
But yeah, really well designed. Probably designed a lot better than most people's Crazy Frog plushes. The face doesn't look deformed. It looks perfect, and yeah, it even has, you know, it says the Annoying Thing on the back, which is what it was originally called, and I guess that's another name for Crazy Frog, the Annoying Thing, but that's what it was called at first, and I think that's pretty cool. It kind of adds to it that's to kind of show the history and what it was originally called. It's like SpongeBob being called SpongeBob to begin with, or it was going to be called SpongeBob to begin with, but the difference is with Crazy Frog is that it still stands as like another name, but it's not like his main name. Here it is though, annoying thing. The helmet's obviously not detachable. The goggles do fall off quite easily, but you can just put them back on. But you can just put them back on very easily here, just by doing this, and you can get it back on. But then if you put it down, they're attached, but they're not like sewed on fully. I'm very impressed with the design and the seller as well. And yeah, there's that. So let's get to the DJ plush now. Alright guys, I'm going to open the DJ Crazy Frog plush now. This is the one that came from Greece, which is pretty far away. It's incredibly far away from Canada, all the way in Europe. So yeah, let's get to this. Let's see if it holds up to the image that was on the eBay listing. I'll show it now. Because it was like photoshopped, I guess. Like it didn't show it like on a table or in person. I mean, it didn't show a background. So it could very well be deformed and not really hold up to what's in the image. But we'll see. I'm going to open it and see if it holds up. I imagine it would. But let's see. So, as you can see, the Crazy Frog plush is over there. It is now time to open the DJ Crazy Frog plush. Alright, this moment of truth. Ready, set, oh, ready, set, oh, so good. I just realized I got some other tape to fix here. I just realized I got some other tape to get rid of here. Now that I got the tape sorted out, let's open it. Alright, here's the moment of truth. It's in bubble wrap. And it makes sense why these would be in bubble wrap, especially with them being shipped, you know, so far. You know, it makes sense why they would both be in bubble wrap. So I do respect the seller for that. But it's also just common sense. So, alright. One thing I forgot to mention, which I'll mention it now that I'm opening it, it's in the original box as well, which actually, this applies to any collector's item, including this one. If an item is in its original box, it's more valuable, like it's worth more money. If an item is in its original box, it's worth more money, and this is in its original box. So yeah, very surprised that there was one available in its original box. You'd think it would not have its original box. Especially with these being sold so long ago, you wouldn't think anyone would have, you know, kept it in its box at the time. You would have typically opened it, you know, at the time. But now it's valuable, and this was left in its box, so you can already see there. I can already see, I haven't even opened it yet, and I can see it. I'm going to let it focus there. Yeah. And it holds up. I haven't even opened it yet, but I can see that it holds up to the image, and I'll show that on screen. Double packaged here. This isn't, like with the regular Crazy Frog plush, it was just in bubble wrap. This was in bubble wrap, but it also was double wrapped. But it was also in plastic wrapping. So that's pretty good of the seller. Yeah. Without further ado, even though I've already talked a good amount about it before I even opened it, you can see it right through the plastic. But I'll still open it, because that's the whole point of the video, is to open it. Alright, here it is up close. Very well designed, and yeah, very valuable collector's item. this plush was based off of, because in a few Crazy Frog music videos, or in at least one short, or I think it was in one music video, or it might even be I think there's two Crazy Frog music videos, or maybe no, three because of Popcorn. Right? So this plush is based off what Crazy Frog looked like what it was dressed up in the music video Popcorn, like Crazy Frog's version. This is what he looked like. He had this dress on. Yeah. Popcorn is the only music video where Crazy Frog has this shirt. Let's show the back as well, that's quite important. And here's the side as well, and the other side. There you go. It's the same image, just flipped. Much the same kind of image, just different positions, if you look. I've been talking about it, but I haven't actually taken it out of this box, which I will do. So here we go. Yep, here it is. See, I went through a lot of effort to try to get it out the box, and I can't get it out. So I'll just... So yeah, if I can get it out, I'll jump cut to that. With a great amount of difficulty, I finally, with some help, cut the last string. And I'll take it out here to prove that. There we go, I got it out the box. Here it is. I'm quite impressed with how good it looks, and I'm not disappointed with my purchase because it looks exactly how it did in the photo. This is what it looks like out the box. I mostly talked about it when it was still in plastic packaging and, you know, in the box. But, you know, last minute, you know, at the end of it, I thought I'd just bring it out. And yeah, so both of these Crazy Frog plushes were made in 2005. According to the labels. Hey guys, this is a new recording. For context, all of the footage you saw in this video up until now was recorded in September of 2022, 2 years ago. I have some additional commentary to add. Words cannot describe how big of a deal Crazy Frog is to me. It's super nostalgic. I initially bought these in August of 2022. The price for the main Crazy Frog plush was $30. I think partially because it was used and not in the box. On the other hand, the DJ plush was $75, and as emphasized in the title, was very rare. And I think what adds to that is being in the box. Although I have taken it out the box, I still put it back in. So if I ever decided to sell these plushies, especially this one right here, I could make quite a lot of money in the near future, and potentially even now. There's Crazy Frog plushes that are being sold for way more money that don't even look as good as these. So then why were mine relatively fair priced? Well, could just be timing. And whether or not there are good Crazy Frog plushes being sold on eBay is very subjective. It could happen at any time, and that's typically the case with secondhand markets. Things come and go. And really good products that are discontinued may be sold by someone, or they might not. And at that point in 2022, I really lucked out. I got both the main and DJ Crazy Frog plushies in good condition, and that actually looked good. And I predict that unless these plushies get sold officially again, which Crazy Frog has returned, and there is the market for that, But I think what makes these more valuable is the fact that they were released during Crazy Frog's initial fame, not its second wave. And even then, for the longest time, everyone just thought it had been and gone until they returned. So I predict that unless these plushies get sold officially again, the price is only going to increase. It's worth noting that there was a few different companies that made Crazy Frog plushies at the time of this footage. At the time of this footage, I didn't have the main Crazy Frog plush from the Jamster era that had the sing-along. However, that changed fairly recently when I came across a decent one on eBay for a good price that was still in mint condition in the box, which, given that many kids back in the day likely covered them in chocolate and whatnot, finding one of those in good condition is a pretty big deal. From what I understand, don't quote me on this, but I think that this particular Crazy Frog plush with the sing-along is incredibly rare because it's from the Jamster era and from the official merch line. So I'm gonna go get the box. It's off camera, it's around, but it's not in the camera's view. It's in the room. So I'll jump cut to that. Okay guys, I'm back. The box is pretty big, like it's way bigger in comparison to the actual plush itself, or at least I think so. I'm living in Canada right now, but I actually had to get this shipped to someone in England and they brought it to me. And I can't really go into too much detail about that. But all you need to know is that it took extra effort to get this, but it worked. The box is pretty big, like it's way bigger in comparison to the actual plush itself, or at least I think so. Now, with the sing-along Crazy Frog plush here, it's worth noting that I had two to choose from. One was slightly more compressed looking, but you had to press its tummy for the sing-along to be played. However, with the one I chose, you not only press its feet, but it clearly says so. Okay guys, so we're gonna open it. I don't know how to open this for sure, so there might be a jump cut if it takes me a while to be able to find out how to open it, but if it goes smoothly, then there won't be a whole lot of jump cuts. So I think you have to cut this way, like in the middle. I blurred the address is obviously blurred on this. Oh, I forgot. So I realized I don't even need scissors. I forgot. So the person who brought this here, like in the suitcase, the box that it originally came in, it was too big or something, so he had to open it and like put it back in or put it in another box. I don't know, it's complicated. So I actually didn't need the scissors to cut this open. It was already kind of open here. If you look, it was kind of already open. So something like that. I don't have to put in a whole lot of effort to open this. I just have to lift this up. I want to lift this one up, but there's tape here, so I have to cut it. Okay, there we go. That should go to the other side too. There we go. Now that I got both sides cut, I'm going to open it. I see a ton of bubble wrap already. I'll show you guys the inside without it tipping out. Okay. Here's the inside of the box before I open it. So there's a ton of bubble wrap in here. Put that to the side. Oh, I can already see. Oh, look at this. That's what it looks like in the bubble wrap. Okay. I'm gonna put this box to the side. I'm gonna put the bubble wrap in. Okay guys, so I did need the scissors to cut the tape a little bit on one side. So I guess that's what happened. Okay guys, so here is the plush in bubble wrap, and I'm gonna take it out. As you guys can see, there's a lot of extra packaging. I forgot to mention the eBay seller, I think, didn't sell a whole lot of things quite yet, but I think it was a mother of 2 daughters, so that would explain why they had a plush that was either in good condition or not used at all. Maybe it was like put in an attic or something for a long time, but we'll never know for sure. But that's just an interesting fact I thought I would throw in here. my god, there is so much. I don't think I've ever seen a package in this much bubble wrap and extra packaging. It's crazy. It's in plastic. Honestly, I think the seller is actually pretty good for this because maybe the seller recognized how big of a deal this is to own, partially at least, so that could explain why she put so much extra packaging on it, because, you know, it has to get shipped, and, you know, it's not guaranteed to be handled delicately, so, yeah. Okay, this one I'm just going to rip it open, I don't even care at this rate. Here's the plush. It looks pretty accurate to the description. I'll put a picture up now of what it looked like on the eBay listing. One thing I am really curious about is what's going to play when I press it. But before I get into any of that, I'm going to show, this is what the side of it looks like, right here. And this is what the back looks like. And then the other side is just the same as the other side. So this is what it says on the bottom. Oh, by the way, I just found out that Crazy Frog wasn't actually meant to be a frog. He's exaggerated. Of course, he had to have looked somewhat like a frog to be named after one. To be named after the animal. You know, he had to have looked somewhat similar. But there's some features that might be exaggerated. I don't even know at this rate. He has the goggles and everything. It's worth noting that I had two to choose from. One was slightly more compressed looking, but you had to press his tummy for the sing-along to be played. However, with the one I chose, you not only press his feet, but it clearly says so right here, if you can see. There we go. It says, "Try me, press my foot." So it clearly says so right here. Part of me feels like it's a shame that I didn't get both of the sing-alongs, but at least I'm talking about it, and at the time when I purchased this one, the other one where you had to press his tummy was a bid that only had 2 days left. And it was a lot more expensive. And getting both was probably a bit excessive. Especially when I clearly made the distinction, which on its own adds value to this video. Now that we have looked at the sing-along Crazy Frog plush, which by the way will definitely be in the thumbnail along with the DJ, because if I put all the Crazy Frog plushes within this video in the thumbnail, it would be very cluttered. Now that we have looked at the Crazy Frog sing-along plush, which by the way will definitely be in the thumbnail along with the DJ, with that said, there are two more Crazy Frog plushes to show. One to open out of the plastic and one to show. Before I show those though, I'm actually really curious as to if the speaker works first of all, but if it's going to play Axel F, or if it's going to play like the sound from the video, like from Crazy Frog's first ever video. So this is the moment of truth. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. Ready, set, go. Update. This is a jump cut from a few weeks later. The speaker didn't initially work, but my dad was able to replace the battery without taking it out the box fully. It directly states on the box in small writing what type of batteries to put in. It's also worth noting that I explicitly said things like, "I'm not sure if this is going to be Axel F or just Crazy Frog's sound." However, I should have realized that it explicitly says on the box, dancing and singing in orange, to highlight how important it is. And most importantly, right here it says I move to the music, and it also says dancing and singing right here. So obviously it's going to be the sing-along and not just his sound from the first ever video. I already know what this plays, but now that it works, I'm going to play it now for you guys. You have to press his feet, and it says press here. Ready, set, go. as you can see, it still has some movement. My dad even pointed out the fact that the batteries had to be replaced. Just proves that this probably was an early Crazy Frog plush from when it first became popular, and is truly special for that reason. But as for whether or not the previous owner actually used this frequently or not, I don't know. Maybe they kept it in the box and did play the noise a lot. I think it was a mother of 2 daughters, so maybe they took good care of it and didn't take it out of the box, or maybe they did take it out of the box and put it back in sneakily, I don't know. But regardless, it's in very good condition, and I think this is very rare to have from what I understand.
I started recording.
Are you gonna take video, is it? Okay.
Ah.
Now, this is a big Crazy Frog plush. My mom got this for me in 2020, which was half a decade ago now, and it's been sitting in my closet all this time and I never opened it, which I'm grateful in hindsight for now. I don't know where this plush came from originally, but evidence suggests that it's not from the official Crazy Frog merch line, but don't quote me on that. The evidence is that official plush toys are usually sold either in stores, so they don't come in packaging at all, and if they do have packaging, hence you buying online, they typically come in decent quality branding and have tags that indicate it's licensed. One good sign though is the paper on the side does make it look a bit more official. Right here. So it is possible that it is official, but just came in more generic packaging and looks different from the more well-known Crazy Frog plushes. Usually, when you press the tummy or feet, it has a speaker inside that plays Crazy Frog sound, but this one does not. I do have to say that the design itself is pretty funny and goofy. I like how big it is, and the teeth look very emphasized. It's also worth noting that on the packaging that it came in, it says the annoying thing Rana Loco, which stands for Crazy Frog in Spanish. And ironically, when I showed my sister this plush, she started to say Rana Loco later on, and I was like, isn't that Crazy Frog in another language? And she's like, yes, it said that on the plush you showed me. And I figured that was the case. Here's the front, and here's the back. So make of that what you will. Now it's time to look at this Crazy Frog plush. I've had this one since I don't know exactly when, but definitely at least since 2007, somewhere around there. So this is very nostalgic for me, and unfortunately the speaker on this one doesn't work anymore. I actually had it work one last time recently, but then after that it stopped working altogether. And I don't know if you guys can tell by the sound, but it feels broken to me. See, it feels broken. But this is bound to happen when a plush is almost 2 decades old, you know? But I do have to admit, in comparison to all the other Crazy Frog plushes shown in this video, this one is definitely not the most appealing or well made in terms of appearance and size. Some would say ugly, even though I wouldn't go that far. Now every other plush I had, I've actually written a script for or a rough outline. But this one I just realized I had and I never wrote a script for, and I don't really have time to do that. So I'm just going to show it. So I got this one in, I think, July of 2019. And it looks different than the other one, and I'll get that now. You see, these two look different in comparison. First off, this one doesn't come in the box, obviously. And when it arrived, it was just in its state, it wasn't in an extra box. Well, I wasn't expecting it to have a speaker, but it does, I just didn't feel it initially. And it doesn't even have the DJ song, it has Axel F. And I haven't heard this variation before. Ironically, I never thought that this was the one that was going to have that song. I thought it would have Popcorn. This is all the Crazy Frog plushes together. All 6 of them. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!